Were you aware that 99% of deaths occurring after the age of 75 can be attributed to just a few primary causes? Many individuals believe that dying at an older age is simply a natural part of life. However, the reality is that most of these deaths result from preventable risks that are frequently overlooked until it's too late. The issue is that by the time most people recognize what's happening, their health has already significantly declined, leaving them with limited options. But if you become aware of these risks now, you can take proactive measures to safeguard yourself and potentially extend your life in ways you might not have imagined. In this video, we'll explore the top 5 causes of death for those over 75, which account for nearly all fatalities in this age group. Some of these causes may seem obvious, while others could come as a surprise. One thing is clear: understanding these risks is the first step toward preventing them. These aren't just numbers. They represent real people, real families, and real decisions that could mean the difference between battling health issues or enjoying a long, fulfilling life. Make sure to watch until the end, because these 5 causes are not unavoidable. In fact, by making small yet impactful changes, many people have drastically lowered their risks, maintained their independence longer, and added years, sometimes even decades, to their lives. The choices you make today could shape how strong, active, and independent you remain in the future. Let's dive in. Number 1. Heart disease. Heart disease continues to be the leading cause of death for individuals over 75, yet many don't realize how much influence they have over it. The heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it either remains strong with proper care or weakens due to neglect. The challenge is that warning signs often go unnoticed until significant damage has already occurred. Many assume that feeling tired, slowing down, or getting winded easily is just part of aging. However, these could actually be signs that your heart isn't as robust as it once was, and that's something worth addressing. One of the primary contributors to heart disease is high blood pressure. Over time, it places immense strain on your arteries, forcing your heart to work harder than it should. The tricky part? You don't feel it. There's no pain or obvious symptoms to alert you, leaving many unaware until a heart attack or stroke occurs. This is why so many people over 75 end up in the hospital, wondering how they got there when they felt fine just days earlier. Another major factor is poor diet. Decades of consuming processed foods, excessive salt, and unhealthy fats gradually take their toll, clogging arteries and reducing circulation. What many don't realize is that it's not just about avoiding unhealthy foods. It's also about incorporating the right ones. Your heart needs proper nutrients to stay strong, and without them, damage can occur much faster than you might expect. Then there's the issue of inactivity. The heart isn't designed to remain idle. When you stop moving, your circulation slows, muscles weaken, and your heart doesn't get the exercise it needs to stay healthy. You don't need to run marathons. Staying active through walking, stretching, or even simple chair exercises can keep your heart functioning efficiently and significantly reduce your risk of heart disease. The biggest mistake people make is assuming heart disease is inevitable. They might point to family history or chalk it up to aging, but the truth is that small, consistent choices matter. What you eat, how you move, and how you manage stress all play a role in whether your heart remains strong or begins to fail. If there's one takeaway, it's this: you have more control over your heart health than you think. The decisions you make today can determine how healthy your heart stays in the years to come. And the best time to start protecting it is right now. Number 2. Falls and injuries. One of the most dangerous yet often overlooked risks for those over 75 isn't a disease. It's a fall. It can happen in an instant. A misstep, a moment of dizziness, or a slippery floor can change everything. A fractured hip, head injury, or even a minor bruise can quickly escalate into a life-threatening situation. The real danger lies in the fact that most people don't realize how vulnerable they are until it's too late. Here's a startling fact. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury-related deaths among seniors. They result in millions of emergency room visits each year, and for many, a single fall can lead to a decline from which they never fully recover. A hip fracture, for example, can mean months of bed rest, loss of independence, and an increased risk of infections and other complications. Despite how common this is, most people don't take fall prevention seriously until they or a loved one experiences a fall firsthand. The problem is that as we age, our balance, muscle strength, and reaction time gradually decline. Because this happens slowly, we often don't notice the changes until it's too late. You might feel fine going about your daily routine, but one misstep can lead to a devastating injury. The body simply doesn't bounce back as easily as it once did, and what might have been a minor stumble in the past can now have serious consequences. What makes this even worse is that fear of falling can actually increase the risk of falls. After a close call, many seniors begin to avoid movement altogether. They stop walking, avoid stairs, and limit their activity out of fear. But the less you move, the weaker your muscles become. And the weaker your muscles, the more likely you are to fall. It's a vicious cycle that can quickly rob you of your independence. The good news is that falls are not inevitable. There are simple yet effective ways to dramatically reduce your risk. Strengthening your legs and core, improving your balance, and making small adjustments in your home, like better lighting, slip-proof rugs, and sturdy handrails, can make a significant difference. Another often overlooked factor is medication side effects. Many prescriptions can cause dizziness, drowsiness, or changes in blood pressure that increase the risk of falls. Talking to your doctor about your medications and being mindful of how they affect your balance can be life-saving. Falling isn't just about tripping. It's about staying strong, steady, and aware of the small things that can have a big impact. After 75, a single fall can change everything. But taking the right precautions today can mean years of continued mobility, independence, and a higher quality of life. If you're finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires. Now, let's move forward. Number 3. Respiratory diseases. Breathing is something we often take for granted until it becomes a struggle. As we age, our lungs don't function as efficiently as they once did. And even minor respiratory issues can escalate quickly. What starts as a simple cough or shortness of breath can develop into chronic conditions, infections, or even hospitalization. After 75, respiratory diseases become one of the leading causes of death. Not because they're unavoidable, but because they're frequently ignored until it's too late. One of the most significant threats is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Over time, the airways become inflamed, making it increasingly difficult to breathe. Many seniors dismiss symptoms like frequent coughing, wheezing, or feeling out of breath, assuming it's just a normal part of aging. However, these are warning signs that your lungs need attention. Then there's pneumonia. While it might seem like just another infection, for older adults, pneumonia is far more dangerous. What begins as a cold or mild chest congestion can quickly turn into a life-threatening condition. As the body's ability to fight infections weakens with age, pneumonia becomes a leading cause of hospitalization for those over 75. In many cases, the infection leads to a rapid decline in health that some never fully recover from. Another major risk factor is poor air quality. Over the years, exposure to dust, pollution, and secondhand smoke takes a toll on the lungs. Even inside the home, factors like mold, pet dander, and indoor pollutants can worsen breathing problems without you realizing it. If you already have conditions like asthma or COPD, these irritants can exacerbate symptoms. Making small adjustments, such as improving indoor air quality, using air purifiers, or avoiding smoke exposure, can significantly protect your lungs. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to keep your lungs strong is to stay active. Many people don't realize that the lungs, like any other part of the body, need exercise to function properly. When you move, your lungs expand fully, keeping them healthy and clearing out mucus buildup. However, sitting for long periods reduces lung activity, making you more vulnerable to infections and weakened lung function over time. Even light activities like walking or stretching can help keep your lungs stronger for longer. Another crucial factor is getting the right vaccinations. Many seniors underestimate the importance of vaccines for pneumonia, flu, and other respiratory illnesses. These simple precautions can dramatically reduce the risk of severe infections. It's not just about avoiding a bad cold. It's about preventing complications that could land you in the hospital or worse. A small step like staying up to date on vaccines can mean the difference between a mild illness and a serious health crisis. Breathing should never feel like a struggle, but for many people over 75, it does. Not because it has to, but because they don't take action early enough. Your lungs are with you every second of your life, working tirelessly to keep you alive. Taking care of them, strengthening them, and protecting them from infection is one of the most powerful things you can do to extend both your health and independence. Number 4. Stroke. A stroke happens suddenly, without warning, and in an instant, life can change forever. It's one of the leading causes of death after 75, yet many people don't realize how many early warning signs and risk factors are within their control. The problem is, a stroke doesn't always give you a second chance. Once it happens, the damage is often permanent. But here's what most people don't know: up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. That means the choices you make today could determine whether you stay independent or suffer from a life-altering event. A stroke occurs when blood flow to the brain is suddenly blocked or a blood vessel bursts. When this happens, brain cells begin to die within minutes. The longer the brain is deprived of oxygen, the greater the damage. Some strokes are small, causing only temporary confusion or slight weakness, but others leave people paralyzed, unable to speak, or completely dependent on others. In far too many cases, a stroke is fatal. One of the biggest risk factors is high blood pressure. Over time, too much pressure on the arteries weakens them, making them more likely to rupture or become blocked. And just like with heart disease, high blood pressure often has no symptoms. That's why so many people walk around completely unaware of their risk until a stroke suddenly occurs. Another major cause is irregular heart rhythms, such as atrial fibrillation, AFib. Many seniors experience this without realizing it, and when the heart beats irregularly, blood can pool and form clots. If one of those clots travels to the brain, it can cause a stroke in an instant. The good news? A simple medical checkup can detect these issues early, and treatment can lower your risk dramatically. Diet and lifestyle also play a significant role. Eating too many processed foods, excessive salt, and unhealthy fats increases the likelihood of strokes, while a lack of movement allows blood to thicken and circulation to slow. The best way to reduce your risk is by staying active, eating nutrient-rich foods, and maintaining healthy blood pressure. Small changes, like adding leafy greens, cutting back on sodium, and drinking more water, can make a huge difference. One thing that often gets overlooked is mini-strokes, or transient ischemic attacks, TIAs. These are temporary episodes that mimic stroke symptoms, such as slurred speech, weakness, or confusion. Even if the symptoms go away, do not ignore them. Seeking medical attention immediately could mean the difference between preventing a full-blown stroke and suffering its devastating consequences. The most important thing to remember is that you have the power to reduce your stroke risk. Checking your blood pressure regularly, maintaining a heart-healthy diet, staying active, and recognizing the early warning signs can help you stay independent and avoid the life-altering effects of a stroke. The earlier you take action, the greater your chances of protecting yourself. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Cognitive decline and related complications. One of the most heartbreaking realities of aging is the gradual loss of memory, reasoning, and independence. Cognitive decline doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, with small changes that are easy to dismiss at first. But as the years pass, those small lapses turn into something more serious. The ability to manage daily tasks, recognize familiar faces, or make sound decisions begins to fade. And for many, it's not just an inconvenience, it becomes life-threatening. Dementia and Alzheimer's disease don't just affect the mind, they put the entire body at risk. As cognitive function declines, so does the ability to take care of one's own health. Simple things like remembering to take medications, eating balanced meals, or recognizing symptoms of an illness become increasingly difficult. Many seniors with dementia forget to drink enough water, leading to dangerous dehydration. Others may eat too little or too much, causing nutritional deficiencies or weight gain that increases their risk of other serious conditions. One of the biggest dangers is accidents. Forgetting to turn off the stove, leaving the door unlocked at night, or wandering outside in unsafe conditions are all risks that become deadly as cognitive decline progresses. For many seniors, this leads to a tragic reality, losing their independence. They may no longer be able to live alone safely, and without proper care, their health declines even faster. The scariest part? Many people don't realize they're experiencing cognitive decline until it has already advanced. Early signs, such as forgetting names, struggling to follow conversations, or misplacing important items, are often brushed off as just getting older. But in reality, these small warning signs are your brain's way of telling you that something is changing. The sooner you take action, the better your chances of slowing the progression and maintaining a sharp, healthy mind for years to come. 1. One of the best ways to protect your brain is by staying mentally active. Just like the muscles in your body, the brain needs exercise to stay strong. Reading, learning new skills, doing puzzles, or even having deep conversations keeps your brain engaged and reduces the risk of cognitive decline. Here's something many people overlook. Physical exercise is just as important for brain health as mental activity. Movement increases blood flow to the brain, which helps protect memory and cognitive function. Another key factor is social interaction. Isolation and loneliness speed up mental decline dramatically. Having regular conversations, meeting with friends, and staying engaged with a community can literally help keep your brain sharper for longer. The more you challenge your mind with new experiences and meaningful interactions, the more resilient it becomes. Of course, diet plays a major role. What you eat directly affects brain health. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins found in foods like leafy greens, berries, and nuts help protect against cognitive decline. On the other hand, too much processed food, sugar, and unhealthy fats contribute to inflammation in the brain, increasing the risk of dementia. A healthy brain starts with a healthy body, and the choices you make today can shape how well you think and function in the years ahead. Losing cognitive function isn't an inevitable part of aging. By taking the right steps now, keeping your mind and body active, staying socially engaged, and making smart dietary choices, you can significantly reduce your risk. Your brain is just like any other part of your body. The more you take care of it, the stronger it stays. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered: heart disease, falls, respiratory issues, stroke, and cognitive decline. These 5 causes are responsible for nearly all deaths after 75. But here's what's important to remember. They are not inevitable. Most people don't realize how much control they actually have over their own health. And by the time they do, it's often too late. The truth is, small, consistent choices starting today can add years of strength, clarity, and independence to your life. No one wants to think about aging, but ignoring these risks doesn't make them go away. The good news is that awareness gives you power. Knowing the signs, taking preventive steps, and making your health a priority means that you don't have to live in fear of what's ahead. Instead of focusing on limitations, you can focus on longevity, strength, and enjoying life to the fullest. Now think about your own daily habits. Are there areas where you could make small improvements? Maybe it's eating healthier, moving more, getting regular checkups, or staying socially and mentally active. Whatever it is, remember this: you don't have to change everything at once. Even one small step in the right direction can set you on a path toward better health and a longer, fuller life. At this stage in life, your well-being is your greatest asset. The more you protect it, the more you can enjoy time with loved ones, maintain your independence, and live without fear of preventable health issues. Every day is an opportunity to take care of yourself, and the choices you make today can determine how strong and capable you remain in the years ahead. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.